This is Morten from INKISH TV, and I feel almost like I'm back in Switzerland since I can see that my guest has this wonderful background. And my guest today is Stefan Hunkeler. So, Stefan, nice that you can make it today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Morten, for having me here and for this interview.
As I said to you just before we start, I actually said I wouldn't ask you, but I ask you anyway. So, Innovation Day was such a success. Should we do it in a couple of weeks again?
Yeah, sure. We will do it tomorrow. Please come again.
Tomorrow.
No,
So,
it's a huge work from our employees and from the partners and so on. So every 2 years, I think it's okay at the moment. It's,
I don't know if you remember, but I remember when at the last Drupa many years ago there was an announcement on the speaker saying that now we do it every 3 years, and then it
yeah,
just took like a few hours, and then they reverted. No, it will be every fourth year, right?
that's
And maybe it's the same with the Innovation Days. That I mean, everybody has been anticipating the event so much because it's been cancelled 2 times. So, how was it for you to see all these fantastic people coming into Innovation Days this year?
it was wonderful. It was just amazing for us, unexpected. I mean, after the pandemic years, we didn't know how people react. Of course, we felt that the exhibitors are willing to show new equipment and to meet the people and to network and to show solutions and see solutions and discuss it. But we were not sure, and that's why we were really overwhelmed when we had new record of figures, and it was really a great atmosphere. It was very successful. We had decision makers, influencers, good quality people on site, and we get great feedback from the exhibitors. They were in positive mood, and most of them tell me that the leads rate is very high at Innovation.
It's funny that you mentioned that because this morning I listened to a podcast between Deborah Korn and Pat McGrew, and in that podcast they actually said that it seemed that this is where business actually take place. It's not like the general exhibition; it's more like this is the place where you get contracts signed, right?
Yeah, at the moment that's for sure. So we have many decision makers, company owners, directors, CEOs, influencers who really can sign the orders and to start a project together with us and with our exhibitors partner.
As I have talked to both you and Michel, your brother, for many times, is also if you think about the digital transformation that we have all talked about for so many years, it seems that the print OEMs and the finishing OEMs today are delivering really capable solutions of actually transforming the business from analog to digital, right?
Absolutely. I mean, digital printing has already the work in digital, so we are used to work with digital data since 20, 30 years since digital print is productive, and that's for sure now. Also, the last one has realized that it's all about the data and the workflow and the processes, and the output is one part of it, the finishing is one part, the printing is one, but generally you're absolutely right. It's the digitalization combined with the output.
When I was quite busy during the show, as you know, and I also saw that every time I think that you tried to move from hall one to hall two, I'm sometimes wondering how many hours it took you to get there because you were stopped all the time by a lot of the visitors that wanted to shake hands and say hi to you. So
No, that
did you have time to see anything at all?
No, I mean, from the 6,700 visitors, I just met 6,500. And no, I mean, we try to welcome everybody. It's a little bit difficult, but that's our job, of course. We have to say hello, at least change some words, discuss if there is some issues or some plannings. And for us, it's very important to stay very close to the customers and to the partners so that we really have the ear on the market.
Um,
So we did it. I loved it very much. Even it took me half an hour until I reached hall one from hall two.
And as you say, I guess that you probably knew a lot of the equipment already because sometimes I get a little jealous on you OEMs that works together because you probably knew about the 2200 from HP way before everybody else knew about it, and you probably knew about the 3000 from Canon before everybody else knew. So I mean, you didn't have to go and see so much equipment. You can just talk to people, right?
Yes, of course. The equipment is also very important to understand the latest technology and the details. Now, of course, not every detail, but we have had our trainings on Saturday and Sunday, and this was very important for me also,
Yeah.
and for everybody to see what is new from the partners and from us.
You introduced some fairly groundbreaking new technology, the Starbook line and also the logistics solution. How was these products received from your customers and prospects?
It is absolutely well received, of course, and it's the right path we are going. And behind that, it's also there are customers behind it, also behind the technology. We developed it together with our biggest customers, and that's very important to fulfill their requirements. And it will go on like that.
Is that now you mentioned that you developed it together with some partners and customers? Is that the typical way when you have an idea or if you get a request from the market that you typically work along with a customer to understand their needs and make sure that R&D understand all the requirements?
Yes, yes, that's a very complex process, and sometimes you cannot realize everything what the customers wishes, of course not, but you have to really concentrate on the main streams and the main productivity, that the productivity will be higher. So, but of course we have to listen. That's our secret. We have to listen to our partners and to our customers.
And if you think of last year was 100 years anniversary and the way that Hunkeler as a company has developed. I mean, every company has had its ups and downs, but it seems that the time for Hunkeler right now with the as we spoke about, the digital transformation is one thing, but you have also been able to actually develop solutions that really fits into what the customers needs right now. So that must be very, I mean, one thing is that you see a lot of prospects and customers coming to a show, but also to understand that you have actually developed products that fits the market must be very satisfying for you guys.
Yes, absolutely, and I'm very proud of it also. And we are in the right market. Of course, we have always to improve and to be careful to do the right thing.
That's why we get up in the morning, Stefan. You know that, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
No. So that's really you have to be focused, and we have to be innovative. I always say as innovative as necessary. Of course, it could be much more, but that's often enough.
Yeah, you said that the success of the show was good. I mean, so the visitor number was actually slightly higher than the 2019 edition, wasn't it?
Yes, yes. It was about 6,700 compared to 6,000 something in 2019. But we don't target as much visitors as possible. We want to have the right people there.
Yeah.
We want to have our industry on site and prospective. So the number is only one measure of the success of Innovation Days.
The people that I spoke to, and I spoke to quite a few, both on the vendor side and also on the visitor side, seems also that the size of Innovation Day doesn't have to be bigger, right? I mean, I know that you had people in waiting line to get exhibition space, and I also know that probably could have been more people if it was like one day longer or something like that. But I think that the format of Innovation Day has really developed into something that fits both you and the exhibitors, right?
That's right, and we tried already once a 5-day edition. That is one possibility which we would have with not that much higher costs. Of course, we would if we would add another hall like for the wide format printing or for packaging or other solutions, then it would lose a little bit the focused production hall what you see or halls what you see there. So we really try to keep focused on this market, on our market also in the next edition.
But I do understand that. I was, however, thinking that maybe to some extent it can be difficult because, I mean, if you look at, let's say, the logistics solutions of this year, for example, it's a new arm of Hunkeler, and when I interviewed Michel during the show, he said that why not even think about packaging in the future, because it's the same printing machines that basically do it, and some customers are doing things. So just the fact that you may extend the product portfolio of Hunkeler may actually require that you think a little bit different in how you size the exhibition without compromising the. There was a guy saying to me, "This is not a trade show. This is more like a user event or a family event." And I think that if you want to keep that kind of atmosphere and intimacy, you basically have to focus a lot on the format, right?
Absolutely. And we have the big advantage that we are not an exhibition company.
Yeah.
So we are a finishing company, hardware and software manufacturer, and that's a big advantage, so that we don't have to grow, or we don't want to have to target to get much bigger. We want to have it successful and concentrated over fuel from the visitors.
One of the things I liked, I didn't attend to it, but I liked the fact about also having this event taking place, is that you took the opportunity to both have a .nex, is it called what's it called? Docsnet, yeah. And also a dealer conference for your resellers and everything like that. So, I mean, that also is a very important part of the mission for you, I take.
Yeah, we have always requests to have more conference part, to have more theoretical stuff. But this show really, we want the people to have on site in the hall on the production lines. Yeah. Of course, we appreciate that associations like the Docsnet or the IPN, the ING, the BMI, and others are there. Of course, we appreciate it very much. But they really should focus on seeing the production line work.
Speaking about both the organizations and all the exhibitors and all the talks you had with some of the attendees, did you see any major change in trends? I mean, I talked to you about the digital transformation that you see, and I think that also the transformation of offset print and commercial print into more digital. Did you see this trend, or did you see other trends that you could be worth mentioning?
Yeah, of course. We were a little bit surprised that the main interest was commercial and publishing.
Yeah.
And before, it was during years, it was transactional, transpromo, mailing, and so on. So that really shows that the interest from the traditional printers going the way to digital printing is very high, and we saw it at Innovationdays very clear.
And that, of course, gives not only you but also the print OEMs and your finishing partners a tremendous opportunity in the future, because I mean, if you look at the number of transactional printers compared to the number of commercial printers, there's quite a big market to go to, right?
That's right. That's absolutely right, and it's a huge potential in future, and customers, they have to reorganize themselves, to reorganize the process, the workflow, the whole digitalization. That's not so easly, but we and our partners, we can help and to try to understand the requirements of our customers.
Entirely different thing. This was Daniel Ernie's first Innovation Day as the CEO of Hunkeler. So did he manage good?
An excellent job. Okay, the big job is going on, so he's traveling a lot, visiting the prospects from Innovationdays and our customers, and of course, but he did a great job.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy, and it was funny to see him in the role, because as I also said I think when I met you and also Michelle, I said it was like he stepped into a role, because he's been part of the company, but he stepped into a role where he really he has a very CEO and a leadership kind of attitude. I like that a lot, and I'm not saying anything that you and Michelle didn't have it, but it's funny because he also emphasized many times that this is still Hunkeler. I have Hunkeler in my blood, basically, right? So it must be, but still it must be challenging to hand over the management, the leadership to somebody with another surname, right?
Yeah, we had it already before I started the company. We had general manager, we have directors, so it was not all.
So it's not all new.
Yeah. So we are used to that, and Daniel Ernie and me, we know each other since since many years, and we were together in the local football club in the board of directors, and we know each other since many years. And that helps a lot to have the confidence and to treat each other like he's part of the family.
Of course, and
Like the whole management or even the whole company, that
yeah.
people feel a little bit like part of the family.
Yeah, I remember when Jan and I we visited you in your headquarters a year, 1.5 years ago. It was great to be there because you really feel that you have your the young for the young programs for new people. I can't remember the name, but you even have a website for onboarding and making it attractive for young people. And I really felt like when you got into your company that even though it's not a small company, it's not a very big company, but it's a medium-sized company, you still feel that everybody was on the same page and they wanted to be a success for the entire company. And that is, I think that is also when you come to Innovation Days. I don't think I've ever been on a show where people have been so supportive for how we did our work in order to our crazy ideas about the bonjour and the coffees and the croissants and everything like that. But it was truly great people you have. So congratulations, because that means that you do something really right if you have those good people. I'm 100% sure about that.
No, I mean, sure, but we are all in the same boat, I always say. So my father always had the same philosophy, Michel also. Even if a worker in the spare part department or if he sells, or it doesn't matter. We drink a beer together, we laugh together, we do the support together, and people, they love it. And we are just as normal as everybody.
Of course. Stefan, next time, is that still in 2 years' time?
Yes, we will do it in 2025. It will be from February 24 to 27 in Lucerne again. The 27th will be the start of the Fasnacht, of the Lucerne Carnival.
Oh,
So
you dare
that's
to combine it?
yeah, you can combine it. You have a little bit careful because the bridge is closed
Oh, okay.
because of the Fasnacht from 5 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock or something. It affects a little bit, but it's really worth for those who never saw it. It's fantastic what Fasnacht Lucerne proves.
I actually forgot to ask you one thing, so I hope you don't mind that. I just have one more question. When you look at the visiting numbers, one of the things I remember we spoke about a long time ago was you wanted to wait from last year till this year because of attracting audience from all over the world. You managed that, didn't you? I mean, I saw people from Asia and people from America and people from even from Africa. I mean, have you checked the numbers? I mean, it's how many countries were represented at Innovation Days? Do you know that?
Yeah, we know it exactly. We had some more than 100 different countries.
Wow.
So it's absolutely even more international or outside Europe than 2019. So we had 20% from Switzerland, 20 from Germany, 40 rest of Europe, and 20 overseas, 10% US, 5% Asia. That means that were several hundred people coming and potential people coming to Lucerne. We really were delighted to see that.
And probably the event with the broadest audience in the world, right?
Yes, it's unbelievable what we have for media contact. What we had very high attention, and also thanks to INKISH, to you, Morten, and all the others, the press. It was impressive how is still today written about this event.
So much content from what they think, from printing impressions from us, from the Italians, from the Germans. I mean, I still see it almost daily, as you say, and it's great interviews, and it's both about people and technology. And this is so great about this industry that we can combine those two things, right?
Yes, that's right.
Fantastic. Stefan, I want to thank you very much for taking time to talk to me here. Always a pleasure to talk to you, and I hope I will see you soon in person. It's always more fun. I know that you were stuck in traffic when I was supposed to interview you the last time, but here we caught up a little bit on it, so I wish you all the best. And again, also thank you for having INKISH as part of your media coverage of Innovation Days. Proud and honored, and still a little bit tired.
Thank you very much, Martin, and your team for the support and for the great distribution of the news. And at this time, I want to say a big thank you to all the visitors and all the exhibitors and partners And a very, very big thank you to our fantastic Hunkeler employees. I cannot say it more enough. And to our distributors, our dealers, as well as the city of Lucerne, who supported us in many aspects, very positive. So thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup, and au revoir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.